I have pledged myself and my colleagues in the cabinet to a continuous encouragement of initiative, responsibility, and energy in serving the public interests. Let every public servant know, whether his post is high or low, that a man's rank and reputation in this administration will be determined by the size of the job he does and not by the size of his staff, his office, or his budget. And we must face the fact that the United States is neither omnipotent or omniscient, that we are only 6% of the world's population, that we cannot impose our will upon the other 94% of mankind, that we cannot right every wrong or reverse each adversity, and that therefore there cannot be an American solution to every world problem. When at some future date the High Court of History sits in judgment on each of us, our success or failure will be measured by the answers to four questions. First, were we truly men of courage? Secondly, were we truly men of judgment? Third, were we truly men of integrity? Finally, were we truly men of dedication? Too often in the past we have thought of the artist as an idler and dilettante, and of the lover of art as somehow sissy and effete. We have done both an injustice. The life of the artist is, in relation to his work, stern and lonely. He has labored hard, often amid deprivation, to perfect his skill. He has turned aside from quick success in order to strip his vision of everything secondary or cheapening. His working life is marked by intense application and intense discipline. For I can assure you that we love our country, not for what it was, though it has always been great, not for what it is, though of this we are deeply proud, but for what it someday can, and through the efforts of us all, someday will be. Let us not emphasize all on which we differ, but all we have in common. Let us consider not what we fear separately, but what we share together. For in a democracy, every citizen, regardless of his interest in politics, hold office. Every one of us is in a position of responsibility, and in the final analysis, the kind of government we get depends upon how we fulfill those responsibilities. We, the people, are the boss, and we will get the kind of political leadership, be it good or bad, that we demand and deserve. The success of this government, and thus the success of our nation, depends in the last analysis upon the quality of our career services. My fellow Americans, let us take that first step. Let us step back from the shadow of war and seek out the way of peace. And if that journey is 1,000 miles or even more, let history record that we, in this land, at this time, took the first step. If more politicians knew poetry and more poets knew politics, I'm convinced the world will be a little better place in which to live.